Hey YouTube, Safety here. You may remember this bed from last year. It was this time last year it had probably about 3 rows of carrots, some parsnips, some random cauliflower and broccoli, a nice big sugar snap pea bush over there. I tried to grow some beans over here as well, peas and other stuff. This year, a little different. I'm not letting this bed rest, which a lot of people think. This kind of over winter I didn't grow nearly the same type of fall crop I did last year, so this is just compost. This is a mixture of horse manure and wood shavings from a farm that's locally here, restaurant scraps like carrot peels, eggshells, and funky lettuce and lettuce chopped off and everything. It's been mixed in here, plus some organic stuff from the yard. A couple big bags of Starbucks' extra coffee grounds, and then I've just been turning this and mixing this all in with a little bit more carbon and some paper and stuff, and just turning this daily. This is a nice fresh bed of compost. I'm hoping that this will be ready in a couple weeks so I can plant some starts in there. I have some cucumber starts. I want to trellis some cucumbers up the back fence here. I don't even know what I'm going to do in front, maybe squash or lettuce. I haven't really even planned out this bed. All I know is this is where my cucumbers are going to go in the back. You probably remember this area right here last year had a bunch of beds. This time last year I had like a row right here, a nice big row of those little plastic containers all zip tied together. It worked really good, but the lawn was directly underneath them. I didn't put any cardboard down. It grew right through. So now I've layered cardboard out. I've put about 4 inches of eucalyptus mulch that came from my grandparents' property here in town. They thinned out a bunch of their eucalyptus trees, so I just spread this all over the whole area. Eventually I want to build more boxes here, build them nice and build them correctly this time. I'm going to start growing in there again, but just haven't had time with school and work and everything. I'm busy. I did manage to complete this garden here though. This is a slanted rogue bed that's slightly raised, and I'm building up still. Spread the mulch out in between in each trough, and then I've got little mounds going up. A lot of this lettuce was bolted lettuce from last year that started on its own, mixed in with the compost that I spread out here. So the sprinklers are going on me. Scared the crap out of me. So this is like right here, you see some lettuce starts. I've planted some squash, so my squash is starting to come up here. Some are sprouting like right here. Some are getting eaten like this little guy here. I've got random stuff that's just kind of still growing. I'll just let it go. If it dies, it dies. Nice big cabbage plant here. Some more broccoli and kale. I just cut out some big ones that bolted that were just covered with aphids, so it was pointless to hang on to. You can see a couple squash plants that started on their own that I just left because they were in good spots. Orch, O-A-R-C-H is what this plant here is called. One's random lettuce start. Not quite sure what it was. Someone just gave me a stalk of it with a bunch of seedlings on it, so I just buried it, and this is what popped up. So I'm just going to let that naturally grow. Hopefully I can harvest some seeds from it. It's supposedly edible. I don't really know much about it. If you do know anything, just post down below in the comments. But right here I've got basil sprouting up. I think there's a random tomatillo plant, a couple of them. This is a fava bean plant and some lettuce. See, I got some carrots started. I planted some more here. I've got all my tomato and tomatillo and pepper plants started with some lettuce starts and cucumber starts. I transplanted some of my tomatoes, so each one of these tomatoes is a different variety of tomato. I was doing 2 to a box. You can see I use those plastic boxes as the foundation for these rows. In the future I might pull them out and just turn the soil back in and keep going, or I might just cover them with cardboard and keep building up. They make a good foundation and help to limit erosion. Let's see, what else do I really have going here? I planted 2 tomatoes and a tomatillo plant. Figure I'll let the tomatillo plant kind of vine out on the ground in between the rows, and I'll trellis the tomatoes up to support them. That should work out really nicely for me. I've got some more squash in this other row. Let's get a side view of what I've got going here. So it's still really in the early production stages. There's not much growing on right now. I've got, my herbs. I've got a strawberry actually right there growing, but herbs. I've got I can't remember, artichoke, some rosemary plants, some rue, some, I'm blanking on all my words today. It's alright, whatever. It's another herb. 2 different varieties of it. These are some lettuce seeds that just like kind of got covered with mulch, and just for an example of how well mulching can really help. These lettuce seeds were just here struggling in just a really thin layer of dirt, nothing special going on. I wasn't watering them or doing anything. But then I spread this mulch out, and actually I just buried them. I didn't care, I just left them. And they have taken off. So just for an example of how mulching can really help reduce the watering need and the irrigation issues, this lettuce is just taken over because I put an inch of mulch, not even, right around the base of it, allowing for that moisture to stay in. Even this little guy here, it's just seed that sprouted and then a little bit of mulch. You can see how moist it really is down there. And there's like an inch of dirt on top of cardboard. There's really not much of anything going on, and this lettuce is not thriving or anything, but it's doing much better than it was before. A year ago, if you look at my videos, I started by looking at this pot here. I said I planted pansies. It's also got strawberries growing in it, but you can see those pansies are doing great. I thought they were purple. Apparently they're white. Some of these are some old eaten up broccoli. You remember the parsley was growing in this pot in a video a year ago, but right here I've planted this just about a week ago. It's a Jerusalem artichoke. I think I've got some videos on those in the past, but they're quite resilient, drought resistant, and produce an abundance of food. I actually want to build a box for these to go right where this bench is, a long row box, to create a wall, like a hedge. The wind travels through my property this direction, and if I create a hedge right here, it'll really stop the wind and help with my irrigation as well. Got some, not lemon verbena, but another lemon herb plant. I can't recall what it's called. But yeah, it's just a fun garden. I got it growing. I got my hops growing up in little areas. Take a look at my starts, my tomato starts, my pepper starts, cucumber, lettuce, tomatillos, and then got some chard here, and these are all my hop plants that I planted last year. I think I might have done a video on them, but these are just growing up. You can see how well they did last year. They got all the way up here and then started to kind of fizzle out as it went up. Hopefully I'll get much further up the second year. But got more beans planted in this little pot here. I'm going to have them trellis up. The sun is coming down from that direction most of the day. So what I want to do is I'm going to have my squash and my melons down here, and a little bit along this one. Have my tomatoes coming up here, and then anything tall like corn or anything I'm going to have coming up here, so they get an even array of sun. But that's my plan, and this is my garden share update. Today's April 4th. It's a little cloudy, a little rainy, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. Stay safe, YouTube.